Hi Virgo, welcome to your love and romance reading for April 2020. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and yes, of course, Venus. I know a lot of you like to check out your Venus sign when it comes to love and romance. We'll talk about that at the end, but for now, we're going to jump into the reading and see what's coming up for our lovely Virgos, our Virgo friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, my darlings. One more shuffle here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, for the first card here, we've got Page of Swords. Some of you could be dealing with a younger air sign who may be coming off as a little impulsive, okay? Some of you may be feeling a little impulsive and maybe you're wanting to give somebody a piece of your mind. That could be happening as well, especially since I know a lot of us are in close quarters right now. Tensions can be kind of rising or kind of high. However, when I see Page of Swords, I see a lot of the times when Page of Swords comes up that there's a situation here where you are being encouraged to speak your truth. Okay, you do need to speak your truth about a situation. Page of Swords can also indicate there's something happening for you along the lines of having to gather information. So I feel, Virgo, that a lot of you feel like it's time to have a talk with somebody, but you're wanting to go into it prepared because you're like, I don't want to look foolish. I don't want to look stupid. And I don't want to get all emotional. I want to go in there with logic. I want to go in there with facts. I want to be able to go in there and lay out some kind of a plan. But you might be feeling a little underprepared. You might be feeling a little unprepared to do this. So you may be preparing yourself with this Page of Swords in April, where you are gathering information or gathering facts. I am being told to tell you all to be very cautious where you are digging and what you are digging for, right? So in other words, sometimes there's no problem, but we end up creating a problem. Like if you dig enough looking for a problem, eventually you're gonna manifest something. So be aware of that kind of energy as well. This is a general reading. Not all of you are in that vibration, but some of you could be. And so that's why that is coming up for you. Page of Swords can also indicate, Virgo, that somebody is gathering information about you. I feel for some of you, you are in a situation, and I feel that this is in regard to an air sign. It could be a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius. Not necessarily younger than you, but it could be somebody that you've connected with fairly recently. And I feel that this person may have you under, I'm going to use the word surveillance, but please don't panic. I don't mean that they're like, high tech all up in your business. But they might be kind of analyzing you. They might be kind of trying to see how you're behaving in this situation. Because this is, we're coming into a time right now, guys, as a whole, as mankind as a whole, all around the world. We're going to see the best of each other and we're going to see the worst of each other. So I feel like somebody maybe has an interest in you. They were maybe planning on approaching you or planning on having a relationship with you. And now they're like, well, time out. We have some restrictions right now. I can't really pursue things how I typically would. But also, let me see how Virgo is going to behave in this situation. Let me see, Virgo's character, like who they are as a person, what's going to come to the surface. So this person may be watching you from afar, because they might be the kind of person where they've had people fake a lot to them in the past. Maybe they're very successful. Maybe financially they're very secure. Maybe they're very established. And so maybe they're used to having people like come up to them and pretend to be a certain way because they want in on that goodness. They want to be in there and have that easy ride. So they come forward, presenting themselves to be really great people or kind people or selfless people, I don't care about money at all, like whatever. But they're looking at, the air sign and they see like, money bags like in the cartoons, So this person may be kind of trying to analyze you and get an idea of who you are. They may even be gathering information about you. They may be doing like background reports and things like this. So if there are things in your past that are a little checkered, you might want to try to, wrong those rights if you can. Not just because of this person, just like in general. But you may have someone who's just, trying to gather information about you, Virgo. Okay? Your next card here is Five of Pentacles. Okay? And this is uncertainty. This can be fear. This can be having a lot of concern around finances. And Virgo, you guys are you guys are earth signs. Virgo is an earth sign, and security and finances tend to be very important to earth signs in general. Obviously, we all care about, having security in our life, but earth signs tend to be a lot more focused about it. They tend to be a lot more driven when it comes to having that physical security. And so right now, because of the way things are, you might be feeling concerned or worried like crap, like now I'm never going to have a good love life. Or now, I was so close to reaching certain goals or having my finances in a certain way. And now this whole situation comes up and now, economy and all this stuff is happening. And now I'm going to have to start all over again. And now I'm never going to have a relationship. But the message with Five of Coins or Five of Earth, or Five of Diamonds, or whatever the heck you want to call it, Five of Pentacles. It's basically you're coming into a time where finances may be uncertain. Okay, finances may be uncertain. You may be finding yourself having to, tighten your belt. You may be finding yourself having to be very cautious with your spending. But something very beautiful happens when we see this card. We're coming into a time where we begin to learn who really is in our life for us, right? We begin to see the fake people. We begin to see the users. We begin to see the opportunists. And we're left with the diamonds. We're left with the relationships of substance and value. And we find ways to occupy our time, to entertain ourselves that don't cost a lot of money. And so oftentimes these are the things that bring our soul to life. These are the things that bring us connected with purpose and passion and depth. And so we discover realms of emotional depth, and we discover opportunities in which we're able to bond with other people and have a really good time without spending money. So even though we're coming into a time of, maybe that we could label as hardship, there's going to be a lot of beauty and a lot of bonding that comes through that. And Virgo, you're going to learn a beautiful, amazing life lesson that you don't have to be, sugar mama or sugar daddy to everybody. That you don't have to be the one coming in and proving yourself financially, right? That your worth, your value, it's not based on how successful your business is or what title you've reached in your career or how much you have in your bank account. It's who you are on a soul level. I feel some of you are getting very selfless and you're getting involved in some kind of relief effort. So I don't know if you're doing something with a relief organization, or you're volunteering to help or kind of go into the front lines, so to speak. If you are doing this, obviously, please exercise caution, meditate on it, pray on it. But I feel some of you are establishing very meaningful connections and relationships through that kind of thing. And you may even be meeting someone, if you're single, through this effort, meeting somebody of substance. I feel, Virgo, that your idea of what love is, your idea of relationship, it's all going to change in April. You're going to find that your wish list or your shopping list, as it were, is completely and totally changing, right? You may even find that you don't even care about certain aspects of a relationship that maybe were very important to you before. Maybe you were like, oh, well, no, I have to get married. I'm not going to be with somebody unless we're married. And that might change. You might be open to say, you know what, I don't really care about that so much, Or you might decide that you don't want to be married. You might decide that you want a relationship, you want companionship, but you might decide that you don't want to be locked down in a marriage. And that's just an example, you know, just kind of what you're looking for might be changing, right? Or maybe you haven't been taking things seriously and you've just been living life as it were, and maybe the situation's making you think quite the opposite. You know what? I want to be married. I want to be, you know, with somebody. So it can be different for different ones of you, right? But overall, I think your type is changing. What you're looking for in a person is changing. What you're valuing in a person is changing. And you're beginning to value yourself and find confidence and find value within yourself. Very different from how you were measuring value within yourself before. Okay? The next card here is Queen of Swords. Again, very powerful air sign energy here. Some of you are absolutely dealing with an air sign. Or it could be in your moon or in your rising, you know. You may be a Libra rising. We may have that in common. Or you may be dealing with a air sign person because you have that page of swords. But you know what's interesting here? Look at the progression. Look at this progression here. We had something in the very beginning where I said some of you are trying to figure out how to approach a situation, but you don't know how to come forward and you don't know how to do it. 5 of Pentacles is you might be feeling kind of like left out in the open. You may be feeling rock bottom. You may be feeling like, you know what, I've got nothing to lose. I may as well approach this situation. I may as well, you know, go for this. Or you've gathered the information, you're ready for whatever consequence may come out of it, and you may mid-month be prepared to approach this person and to lay out your concerns or your requests. But oftentimes, if we have Queen of Swords tells us, Virgo, that you have had enough nonsense. You have had enough nonsense. You are looking very focused at what needs to be done in your life, and you are ready to lay down some boundaries. It's different from King of Swords. King of Swords is let's talk about this, let's negotiate, let's see what's in it for you, let's see what's in it for me, let's come together with a plan and make stuff happen. Queen of Swords is kind of all or nothing. She's not here to negotiate. She's like, this is the plan. Are you on board or not? Do you want what I want or no? If you don't want what I want, get the heck out of my way. I don't have time. I'm not slowing down. I've made up my mind. I know what needs to be done. And either you are with me or you're in my way. And if you're in my way, get out of my way or be cut out of my way, right? Queen of Swords does not play. She does not play. And like I said, this could be an aspect within yourself that's coming to the forefront, or you may be coming at that crossroads with somebody where you are having to address the fact that maybe you all haven't been on the same page, right? And so there may be an ultimatum that's approaching, whether you're receiving the ultimatum or whether you're giving the ultimatum. Queen of Swords sometimes, not always, but sometimes it can come into my readings as a mother-in-law. It's like a more so mother-in-law than mother, which is very interesting. It's not always, but sometimes depending on the other cards and depending on the energy, sometimes she'll come up like somebody's mother-in-law will pop into a reading and the person's like, oh my God, yeah, that's totally what's happening. So you may have a mother-in-law who maybe is very opinionated right now and might be kind of, you know, coming into the relationship with opinions or wanting to rule it or wanting to tell you how things need to be done. You may be in a situation, depending on what's happening financially, maybe there's a dynamic where some of you are finding yourselves having to be in closer quarters with in-laws. And that's a situation in which you're going to have to pick your battles wisely. You don't want to have chaos and drama that's going to affect your relationship. But, you know, I just feel like this is a situation where I'm just hearing pick your battles wisely. Choose your battles wisely. Because Queen of Swords can be very opinionated and can kind of really rule in a very serious kind of way. For other ones of you, you are embracing singleness, okay? If ever there was a card about embracing singleness, Queen of Swords is it, you know? Because she knows what she wants and she doesn't have time to dilly-dally. She doesn't want to settle. She's kind of, I don't know if I want to say afraid, but she knows better than to place her security or her life in the hands of others. You know, she's just, you know, at the end of the day, all I got is myself, and I'm just going to have to do what's going to be best for my self-preservation. And some of you Virgos are coming into that energy. Maybe you're hunkering down and you're getting very comfortable with being by yourself, and you might be raising the bar that if you want to be in my life, if you want to have a relationship with me, you know, this is the bar, this is the standard you're going to have to meet. And that might be the conversation you're getting ready to have with somebody. Your next card here, my darlings, is, oh my goodness, King of Swords. All right. So you are stating your case, and this other person may be responding to you in the way where they're standing up and they're saying, okay, all right, so how are we going to make this happen? Let's get into the negotiation. So Queen of Swords is saying, you have somebody who's here. You have somebody who hears you. You have somebody who's taking you seriously. They're looking to negotiate with you. So choose your battles wisely. You know, you might be fed up. You might be angry. You might be tempted to just really, really stick to your guns, so to speak. But you may regret it later, if that's the case, if you are quick to burn these bridges. Because King of Swords is honorable. King of Swords has good intentions. You know, he's not coming in looking to take advantage of anybody. He's not going to want to give more than he has to give. But if he has to give something to get something, if it's reasonable, he's a reasonable person. You know, he's going to want to try to find the win-win in it for everybody. So he may come at you with counter proposals or counter solutions. And you're going to have to be open to this. You may be tempted to write somebody off. And to me, to have King of Swords and Queen of Swords coming up together, it tells me, you know, wait, think about this. Because they may be offering you a solution you haven't thought of that could be beneficial for you, right? King of Swords typically isn't looking to swindle someone. They're trying to find the happy middle ground. They're trying to find that win-win situation. So they may be coming in a way where they want to negotiate. You might be kind of pissed off, but, you know, take a moment. Take a moment and think about it. Also, we have King of Swords and Queen of Swords coming up from like Page of Swords. So I feel you might be laying down requirements with a page, and that page is saying, okay, I hear you, and they're stepping up and they're coming into king mode. Right? And if that's the case, maybe you need to give them a chance to prove this, right? You give them a chance and hear them out, because they're doing the work. They're doing the work. But, you know, King and Queen of the same suit to me also indicates soulmate compatibility. You may be with someone with whom you guys are very compatible. And you might be wounded from the past in certain ways, but don't allow that to cloud your decision making. Okay, go into this with an open mind, because you have someone that's wanting to offer support and teamwork and partnership and negotiate. Okay, so be open to this. I feel, Virgo, a lot of you are calling in somebody who is like a mirror of yourself, right? Like if you fall on the realm of feminine, then you might be calling in your masculine complement, okay? If you fall in the realm of masculine, you might be calling in your feminine complement. So I feel like there's a very significant connection. This could be very good for you. So think twice before you're just like, nope, you know, cutting it out. You know, you can still have boundaries. You can still have rules, right? But make sure you're not coming into it from an emotional standpoint, from like a jilted standpoint, and come into it using your logic. All right. Your next card here is The hierophant. This is commitment. Wow. This is real commitment. Okay. Old school commitment. There could be a marriage proposal. There could be talk of marriage. There could be talk of, being very exclusive to one another. It's not going to be marriage for all of you, obviously, but it could be a promise. It could be a high vibrational connection, relationship, honest relationship, somebody who's stepping to you with ethics, right? With commitment, with honesty, with truth, making an agreement. I feel though that this is someone who's really learned from their mistakes. And this might be why you're tempted to just kind of tell them no. You might be a very intuitive person, Virgo. You might be very, very good at reading people. Even if you're watching this and you're not a Virgo sun, even if you're a Virgo moon or Virgo rising or Virgo Venus, you might be a very intuitive person and you might be very good at seeing through people. And so you might see this person as Page of Swords, right? And they're showing up to you as King of Swords. Okay, you may have a pretty good idea. You may be reading their past, but they've done the work. They're serious. They're stepping to you with seriousness, So don't be quick to write it off, right? This person is offering a solid commitment here. Obviously, this is a general reading. It may resonate, it might not. Your circumstances could be different. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do. If you click on the Calendly link, you can schedule a private reading with me through Calendly, and I'm more than happy to pull cards for you. Those of you who have questions around the astrology of things, like, oh, how do I know my Venus sign, or what does this mean if my rising is this, and what does it mean if this is in this house? A lot of you have been sending me your charts to analyze, and I've told you guys I'm not an astrology expert. I know you guys are coming at me with these things because you have big decisions to make, or these things are very important to you, and I don't take that lightly. And I'm more than happy to read. Really, I'm more than happy to read for you. But in terms of all things astrology, I'm not going to pretend to know about astrology more than what I know. I had an astrologer reach out to me because they heard me say this in my videos, and they gave me a little breakdown that blew me away. And so there's a lot of helpful things on the website that are free. There's astrology guides, there's articles and things explaining the rising and how the rising affects things and how the rising sign works. And so there's free resources on there. But when I, was talking to them, they were really cool, and they said, look, let your viewers know that if any of them want a private personal astrology report, if they want a love and relationship analysis compatibility, or if they want their natal chart analyzed, or if they want a forecast for 2020 based on their astrology, I will give them unlimited 30% off, as many reports as they want. So you can use it and get love and relationship compatibility for a few different people. You can use it to analyze your chart. You can use it to get a forecast for the year or for somebody else. And it's unlimited, 30% off. They're already very reasonable prices. Even if you can't afford a reading, go check out the website because there's free stuff on there too. But if you want a card reading, with me, I'm more than happy to do that. If you want to click on my Calendly link, you can schedule a reading with me there. If you like the cards I used, I think this is a gorgeous deck. This is a newer deck, replacing my older deck, same deck. I also have a link to the Amazon if you wanna buy it. But I'm gonna give away this one. As you can see, it's a little tattered. The edges are kind of beat up. All the cards are here. The booklet is here. The booklet that comes with it is here. Original box is here. I just had to replace the deck because of the fact that it's beat up, and I use it in videos. I use it in the photo card of the day and stuff. And so that sometimes doesn't look so nice to be using beat up cards. And I don't want to throw away a perfectly good deck. So I decided that at the end of April, I'm going to choose somebody from the Instagram and Facebook comments. I'm just going to see who jumps out at me. At the end of the month, I'm going to pick somebody from my Instagram and Facebook comments, and I'm going to DM them, get their address, and send them the deck for free. You don't have to book a reading. You don't have to buy anything. I'm just going to pick somebody from the comments on Instagram and Facebook and send out the deck. And, you know, if you're not on the Instagram and Facebook page, it is really cool because I do post a message every single day. I also do a fun little pick a card game, so nice thing to take advantage of if you haven't already. Channeled angel messages will be up in the next 48 hours. Forecasts for the week, weekly forecasts are going to be up in the next few hours. But if you hit subscribe and notification, you'll get a notice when those videos are up. I thank you guys for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Take care, Virgo.